Hello, my name is Gary Holcomb. This past month I was told I had a glioblastoma, which is basically cancer in the brain. Found out about a couple weeks ago the final determination, but I've come a long ways since that started back on August the 22nd, and I thought I wanted to chronicle this in a video to kind of I've seen some other YouTubes, some individuals that had kind of the same circumstances, and I kind of wanted to talk about when it started and what happened, and some of the things that I've thought about, and just kind of talk through it. And I actually saw some other videos that were inspiring, and I saw some comments from other individuals posting on those, and I thought it'd be very therapeutic for me and for others. It's kind of hard to talk about from time to time. You go through a whole just an emotional roller coaster. One thing with mine's on the left side, and it affects my speech from time to time, which anybody that knows me, I've never been at a loss for words, but from times to times I know what I want to say, but it just doesn't come and say out what I want it to say. I have some notes in front of me for things I have to refer to. I might have to problems speaking some of the words, but anyway, it really started back on August the 22nd, on a Monday at work. Really didn't have any problems. Before that, no health problems. I feel fine now. As a matter of fact, I feel pretty good for someone that's been told what they've told. I feel great, as a matter of fact. But on August 22nd, I was at work, and the morning was good. And, I was talking to some managers that worked for me, and I noticed when I was speaking with them that maybe a comment or two, I thought to myself, well, that's not really what I meant to say, but I kind of shrugged it off. And by about lunchtime, I was sitting down with some friends at lunch, and they asked me what I had for lunch, and I couldn't say the words. I knew what I was eating for lunch. I knew what it was. I just couldn't say the words. The words were not coming out the way they should have come out. And that bothered me quite a bit, actually. So anyway, a coworker took me to the hospital, and wow, I would imagine within 3 hours, I had done a CAT scan, and they found a mass on the left side. That was without a doubt the biggest shock. But and that was probably the low point. But past that, I still felt fine. The words were messed up pretty good. It was pretty frustrating for me. So, you know, I did the CAT scan that evening. I did an MRI. I did a bone scan. You know, they looked everywhere. And for the most part, it's only in one place. And it's not a very large mass, I guess, if however a mass can be. Of course, you don't want anything in your brain. On Thursday, and I was in the hospital starting that Monday evening all the way through Sunday. That Thursday prior, I had decided to move to the Mayo Hospital in Jacksonville, which is a very, very good hospital. And I had the opportunity to move over there, and I moved over there. Got with their neurosurgeons. By Tuesday afternoon, I had done the biopsy, and I guess they had removed some of it. I would imagine, I think it was Thursday, that the word glioblastoma was mentioned. You know, the neurosurgeon was hoping all along that it was an infection, but it wasn't. So, you know, I never had any pain from the surgery. They took the staples out, I guess, last Wednesday. They were in there for 2 or 3 weeks. The surgery was on the 30th. And I actually went home on the 2nd Friday, or on September the 2nd Friday, which was just a few days after the surgery. You know, in fact, I got home Friday, and Saturday took and got my wife, Kim, some tires for her car. You know, I had to get out and do something. You know, I think we even went out to dinner Friday night. I felt fine, and I still feel fine. The only thing that really was kind of tough to me was I wasn't able to drive because they had me on seizure medicine. I haven't had any seizures, but I guess that's a standard protocol. They had me on steroids, which I don't get a lot of sleep, and I guess that's from that. So I'm up a lot. The house is really clean. I don't know. I didn't think I had it in me. I don't think my wife Kim knew I had it in me either. But you know, a whole roller coaster things. You know, a lot of you can imagine all the things that go through your mind when you look at stuff like this. You know, I've had a lot of family and friends, and a lot of prayers. You know, my wife Kim and Sarah, they're my life. I talked to my that was going to be the hardest thing for me, was talking to my daughter Sarah, and having that discussion with her. You know, what it was and what was going to happen next. You know, I can tell you that early on, before I knew the word glioblastoma, whatever it was not going to define me. It's just something that I was going to have to work through and get taken care of. So it we had that. We had a Sunday afternoon. We went out to lunch and went to the mall. You know, my daughter's 13, so she enjoyed going to the mall. We spent the day together. We had a good day, really good day. I was probably the one that broke down for the first 30, 40 seconds, you know, and you know, she's the one that said, "Oh, Daddy, you're going to be fine." And the rest of the day was good after that. Now, I will tell you this, I hadn't been tired much, but that afternoon at the mall I was tired, but it was a good day. So, you know, I have well, anybody that's been through this, oncologists, the doctors that are going to radiate it, the plan for me is radiation and chemotherapy. The chemo is, and I'm going to mess this word up, it's temozolomide, Temozolomide, and I'm going to go through radiation for 6 weeks, Monday through Friday, and the chemo, I'm going to go through the same 6 weeks, but it's 7 days, and it's a pill. I've also opted to be in a clinical study where there's going to be another way to stop, or not stop, another medicine added to the protocol. And this starts tomorrow. Today's Sunday, the 25th of September. So I start tomorrow, 26th. I believe 1 o'clock is my first radiation. Don't know really what to expect. I've already been to the Mayo a lot since I've been out of the hospital, doing the different things I guess you have to do. It's not really nervous about tomorrow. I guess you know, I guess I'm worried about the fatigue and, you know, the getting sick. I'm not too concerned about it though, because I don't really, I'm not an individual that normally falls sick to things, so I know that this is a fight, but I think it has more of a fight than I have a need to have one, because like I said, it's not going to define me. I'm really not concerned. Well, I'm not undermining that. I am I do worry, but you know, it's in someone else's hands at this point. I have a lot of individuals on my side. I have the Mayo and the doctors there have been great. I have had no issues whatsoever. So, you know, it's go from here. So, you know, it's onward and upward. I don't really know at this point what to expect the first week. I opted not to work this week. I don't want to, you know, I'm not worried about getting sick. I just feel probably better to learn the